found yourself something funky.
I will be with you in a second. I've just been looking at something really, really nasty. Well, I'm going to bring him straight in. He was the guy that showed me it.
Hello. Yes,
Hello.
I just getting pictures of Tide Pod pizza. Do not consume. Do not even look at it if you want to enjoy your meal.
Yeah, that was bad, that.
Yeah. You think it's going to be bad? It's way, way worse than you think it's going to be.
If there was anything that would ever make me eat a century egg, it would be that pizza.
Oh, yeah. If it's a choice between the two, it's easily a century egg.
Yeah.
You know, the century egg, A, it's meant to be food, and B, it looks less disgusting.
Evening, Stefan, dude. Stefan Harrop, first in the house.
Yep, so you get to hear all about this Tide Pod pizza.
Yeah, you were the first one to, because most people
so
missed
blue,
this.
but not in the good way.
I don't even think there's any way I can bring it up as a. I'm not even going to do it anyway because we're a family-friendly group. I'm not bringing that picture up.
Yeah, it's going to put people off.
Even Paul Thompson in the house.
They can look it up if they want, but just know that they are actively advised not to.
Yeah, don't go there. Bit like the blue waffle.
No, that is another level of no.
I was trying to give them the level of one and just don't bother.
I've not seen that one, and I don't intend to because I know too much already.
Yeah, definitely don't. I was stupidly curious. I got caught with that one. Even Charlie,
you missed us sharing Tide Pod pizza pictures with each other.
Yeah, you did.
Behind the scenes.
You did. Anyway, I suppose we should get on with the serious stuff now that we've got people.
Yes, now that we've put everyone off, let's give them something edible and enjoyable to look at.
Okay. Now that everybody's stomach's turned completely.
Yeah. Oh. Did you know that this coming Friday is the 69th anniversary of the Godzilla movie franchise?
I didn't know that.
And I have been saving these sources for a special occasion because I picked up some official Godzilla sources from the US.
It's green!
Well, yeah, of course the first one's green. It's Little Godzilla, a kawaii kaiju source. It had to be green. People would complain if Godzilla wasn't green.
They would. I'll give you it on this one. It's green. It had to be green.
So this is jalapeno, serrano, onion, garlic, cilantro, which is coriander, lime juice, distilled white vinegar, and salt. Heat level, it says mild there, but if we go around the side, they rated a 4 out of 10 on their special. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but Godzilla's fire breath is the scale.
I like that. That's quite cool.
Yeah.
Even though all producers have their own heat scale, as in one producer's 5 is not the same another producer's 5. That's just a good way of showing it.
Yeah, it's a very good visual. Yeah. And the design in general looks really good. And we got the monster there, but we've also got this flaming background that looks very movie style. It burns into the side of the name there. You got the Japanese name down below for the people who really care about that or just like the aesthetic of that being there. It is a good-looking bottle.
For a green sauce, I'll give you it does look quite good.
Prepare your mouth for a bold mix of earthy flavors, mild heat, and a refreshing hint of lime. Give it a go. They specify roasted garlic on the bottle? We shall see.
Going off the ingredients in there and what you just read out, to remind me of somebody else's, and I don't know why.
Whose?
I don't know, but the ingredients you read out, they seem very familiar.
This is very green peppery. There is a definite tang to it. And I think it probably is that citrus lime tang. But there's also an undertone of the garlic. So yeah, everything they've mentioned is definitely there. And you can definitely smell that there's serrano in there, not just jalapeno. It does seem like It's good chunks in a very, very thin liquid, though. It doesn't seem like it's one thick, consistent sauce.
I've noticed with a lot of green sauces, they seem to be quite runny, as though the best as a dressing over salads. And
I think a lot of them like to go low on the chili so that it stays really mild. This, I would not say this is mild. This is a good sort of,
Godzilla.
I'd say this is a high medium for a normal person. The kick's quite good, but unfortunately there's also a lot of vinegar with it. It is a very acidic green sauce.
Still would be good as a vinaigrette.
Yeah. I mean, I'd add a bit of oil to it for that, but they do for a lot of verde. It would make sense for it. And if you get a particularly good olive oil with that full olive flavor to it, I think that'd go quite nicely with the green peppers. Especially with, that slightly earthy serrano.
So now you know what that company's 5 out of 10 heat level is around.
Oh, they're 4.
That one was a 4.
Yeah.
So you know what their 4 out of 10 average.
Interestingly, I don't think they do anything below a 4.
Oh, so all of them are 4.
All of them are 4 or above, which is a bit bizarre.
Be interesting to see what the aboves are.
Yeah. The next one up is, again, it says Godzilla across the top, but you'll see the Japanese monster name is a little different because this one's based on Mothra, the queen of the monsters.
Anybody that's a big fan in the Godzilla movies and that, they'll know. I've got a funny feeling I know what's coming up next after the one after this.
We'll see we'll see. They do have a whole range of them. I only picked 3 from this range.
Oh, I could be wrong with.
So this is a 6. And this one, embrace the juicy and sweet flavors with a medium heat that will leave behind a mighty burn. It is habanero, yellow bell pepper, pineapple, turmeric, garlic, ginger, white wine vinegar, distilled white vinegar, agave, lime juice, and salt.
Charlie went Googling the Tide Pod pizza, by the way.
Oh, God. Why did you do that to yourself?
It's Charlie. He's broken. He's allowed.
Fair enough. Yeah, the agave suggests a hint of honey-like sweetness, even though it's not honey, it's vegan. It's just cactus juice. And then, pineapple and turmeric is interesting. We'll see how sweet and fruity this actually is. I'm going to shake that up again real quick. And hopefully you can see.
It looks better consistency.
Yeah, you can see the speed at which the bubbles rise to the surface is not instantaneous.
Yeah. Hopefully not as vinegary either. Blip.
Oh, if it's not as thin, then it's almost certainly not as vinegary. We'll give it a look. That still looks pretty thin to me.
Still pretty thin, but it's got a bit of a gloop because the chunks are bigger.
Yeah. Lots of little yellow shreds in that, slightly orangey. Definite tropical fruitiness. You're going to have to taste of the yellow bell pepper, but that's all the habanero and pineapple up front. And it's not super sweet, but there's a little bit of sweetness to it.
The consistency in the bottle when you were pouring it. See how it came out quite runny and then the gloops came out after? It reminds me of a sauce I had once before where by the time I got halfway down the bottle, I'd actually poured a lot of the runnier stuff off and I ended up with this big massive consistency of gloop.
Oh, jeez. I did my best to shake it before I started.
Yeah, it's probably what
sometimes they're just like that. I mean, One that reminds me of is Wiltshire Chili Farm's Sweet Chili, where no matter which way you turn the bottle, the seeds all rose to the top.
Like they had little air bubbles in the seeds.
And they just always got stuck in the neck.
Yeah.
I mean, the sauce was good. It was like your standard sweet chili, but with a bit more actual pepper flavor to it. But just by the end of it, it was so hard to pour.
Similar to the one that I had, where when I got
Yeah.
halfway down the bottle and realised the mistake, it was too late.
Yeah, this is almost citrusy, but not quite the way some of the more savory pineapple sauces can be. I'm going to have a little bit more of this one. But yeah, it doesn't hit me quite as heavily with the vinegar, which is nice.
Sometimes the vinegar makes it feel hotter than it is because you get the little vinegar sweats on the back of the neck and that.
And this definitely isn't the same sharp upfront annuum heat. It's more of a gradual one. But I would say calling this a 6 compared to that 4 is probably about right.
So it
It's
is
not the hottest of habanero sauces, but it's definitely a habanero sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite pleasant. I'm still not sure what I do with that kind of pineapple sauce. But
well, they always say pineapple goes on pizza, and I disagree because I think pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. But pineapple sauce breaks that rule.
yeah, especially when it's a more savory, peppery one like this.
Yeah, pineapple sauces. It was Johnny Scoville's Pinango that changed my mind.
I almost think it might go on fish as well, though.
Fish. I'm not a big
that
fish
slightly
eater,
citrusy quality.
If I was a bigger fish eater, I could have. But
final sauce, though, is just Godzilla himself, not the little Godzilla that we had before, but the full-size, doom inevitable Godzilla. This one is Carolina Reaper, Trinidad Moruga Scorpion, and Ghost Pepper are its stated ingredients. The full list is habanero, Carolina Reaper pepper, Trinidad Moruga Scorpion pepper, Ghost Pepper, distilled white vinegar, cayenne, chili powder, garlic, and salt.
what's the heat level on that one?
The heat level they state is an 11 out of 10.
Yeah, I was thinking, just going off the ingredients there, that's got to have ramped it up a bit.
Yeah. And they say, with the triple hit of the 3 hottest peppers in the world, this smoky hot sauce is the king of all condiments. Now, we do have a new official world record, so whether that holds, but honestly, I wouldn't trust the Guinness books anyway.
Yeah. Piece of paper.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are way hotter things than Reapers and Pepper X and all of that. It's about what you can get stable, what you can convince Guinness to put in the books.
Until you can provide actual peppers on the market, it's not actually classed as a pepper. It's classed as a. You can't get all of it. It doesn't exist.
Fair enough. It certainly effectively doesn't to the people.
Yeah, well, that's what I was meaning to the people. If you can't get all of it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So the first thing I noticed with that ingredients list is that there's chili powder in it now, which should thicken it up a bit, make it a bit more consistent, a bit less chunks in a liquid. But yeah, Reapers are plenty hot enough. Let's see how it is.
I like the fact it's got Moruga in there as well.
Yeah, Moruga is one of many varieties of Scorpion. It is one of the hottest varieties of Scorpion. It's the one that's almost on par with Reapers.
It has a higher average.
Yeah, depending on where you look, certainly.
Yeah.
There is also the thing of depending on who's bred them, there can be a higher average from some Reapers top than others.
Yeah. Some years,
I mean,
some
they'll
of them
do
are
that
hotter
for
than others. Yeah. See, that looks like a more consistent
It's still fairly thin, but it looks like an actual sauce this time.
It looks like it's a sauce that I would be more careful with and just put it into me casseroles or over the top of me something that I'm eating.
Ooh. Ooh. That is not the flavor I was expecting. That definitely has a dried chili flavor, like almost like your Diabol sauce isn't similar. It's it's not what I expected of a Reaper sauce. And it definitely has the grow of a Reaper sauce. There is heat to this, but the flavor is very much
There's the hiccups.
a drier, earthier, woodier one.
Whilst you can still talk, what would you suggest it with?
I'm definitely it'll go in your casserole, but I kind of think drizzling this over macaroni cheese as well would be very nice.
Pasta, cheesy, smoky pasta.
But one thing I like to do with those drier Mexican, those more dry chili Mexican style sauces is mix them with a bit of butter, make a buffalo type sauce out of them, and then put that over corn on the cob.
Not something I would ever think of.
And just all the ingredients were there in a pub one night. And that's how it started.
I like the idea of the cheesy pasta. That just cheesy pasta with bacon in it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, with the bacon there, yes.
Yeah. Or ham. Bit of bacon or ham.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite of the three, and it was not what I was expecting it to be.
Actually, I'm with you on that because I thought the middle one won. Because I'm not a big fan of hot sauces where they're stupidly hot.
Yeah, and this did sound like it was just made for being stupidly hot, but it's got a good dried red chili flavor to it. It does almost come across as one of those Mexican ones, minus some of those Mexican spices.
Hello, I don't know who you are, but hello.
Oh, probably Dave Evans.
Could be. Carbonara, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. Now, for all they hyped up the heat, I have definitely had hotter Reaper sauces than this.
Well, you recovered from the hiccups very quick.
Yeah. There's still a lingering heat, but it's nothing like some of the things we've had in past weeks. There's a good, strong, super hot heat to it, but yeah, it's hotter than Ghost. Let's put it that way.
Well, you had from that company, you had a sauce that was rated at 4.
Yep.
You had a sauce that was rated at 6, and that was a fair assessment. Going off the rate off that where it says 11, would you say it's 11?
I'd say like 8 or 9.
8
would
or
be
9,
more reasonable.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it should have just been popped down a bit.
Yeah. It's definitely not that it's not very hot.
Oh,
It's
you
just
see
that
it's hot.
11 is very dramatic, and it's not that dramatic a step.
They could have saved their 11 out of 10 for another character from them.
I can give a Space Godzilla. Actually, let me check who they do have now. Right, who is actually on their website? Their website is GodzillaFoods.com, by the way.
Yeah.
So they are Americans, so it might be a bit difficult to get them imported. Or at least a bit pricey. Hot Sauce 11 pack. Jeez.
But at least you can buy in bulk and get them all in one go.
Yeah. So we have the Fire Demon Ghost Pepper Sauce for Rodan.
Now, we only want the Godzilla ones.
So you don't want King Ghidorah's
Oh no,
Song
that.
of Three
Oh,
Storms.
yeah, I want them ones. Yeah. Which ones are the 11s and above?
I can't tell from this.
Oh, you can't tell.
It's not as easy to see on the screenshots on the pictures they have here. I think they're rating Rodan at a 10, which if Rodan is a ghost, seems a bit high. Habanero, ghost pepper, cayenne, smoked paprika, garlic, distilled white vinegar, and salt for Rodan.
Still sounds okay though.
Yeah. So King Ghidorah is an 8 with habanero, cayenne, serrano, and jalapeno. And then, yeah, the Godzilla Doom Inevitable, the one that I've had, they've changed the packaging a little since I got it, but still rated an 11. And they now call it the Taste of Immortal Destruction. Still Godzilla, still a 4. The Queen of the Monsters Mothra sauce is now in a blue label, which is interesting because it's still a yellow sauce. And still a 6. Godzilla Tail Slide of Terror is a 10. With aged red peppers, vinegar, and chili extract. That doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah, we'll just scrap that one.
Yeah, I don't want that one. Then the Burrowing Death is a 10, but a Carolina Reaper sauce, apparently. Reaper, Piquillo, and Peri Peri. Okay. That's an interesting mix.
Not for me, that one.
Fair. That one contains xanthan gum, so it's probably a decent thickness. Godzilla Malicious Dreams of the Electric Deity. What? 6 out of 10 heinous fruity burn. Vinegar, mango, pineapple juice, raisins, oranges, red habanero peppers, sugar, salt, and xanthan gum. So that the chili's a good way further down. I'd be surprised if it can match the heat of Mothra. And yet they're rating it a 6 still.
That one that one when you were reading it out actually sounded as though it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it'll be too hot, but it sounds pleasant.
Yeah.
And the full immersion in Dragon's Fire, 8 out of 10. Habanero peppers, red wine vinegar, white vinegar, molasses, tomato paste, Worcestershire sauce, salt, sugar, garlic, cayenne pepper, xanthan gum, sorbic acid. What we got here? The God of the Seatopians, Megalon. 6 out of 10, hotter than the Beast Killer Laser Beam. That probably means something to somebody who isn't me.
No.
But that's another habanero-based one with carrots and agave nectar high up the list.
I think you've definitely got the best one in your hand right now.
Yeah, probably the Doom Inevitable, which you can still get hold of. Supersonic Waves, a sweet and smoky sriracha sauce at 4 for Titanosaurus. Red jalapeno, smoked paprika, garlic, onion, distilled white vinegar, lime juice, sugar, and water. So yeah, roughly what you expect of a sriracha, but with smoked paprika as well.
Which to me could actually improve sriracha because I'm not a big fan.
It probably would, I reckon.
Yeah, the smoky element added in there could.
Yeah. I would definitely recommend the Doom Inevitable.
That one looks like the winner so far.
Yeah, I'm going to be enjoying this a fair bit.
I did think it was the second one. I totally disregard the green one, but everybody knows why. It's basically just me and my fear of green sauces.
The green one will be fine when you put it on something that isn't... Well, there's something that will absorb some of the vinegar. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily anything too special.
I'll just take your word for it.
So I would go for the others if you're going to go for any of them. And yeah, the Doom Inevitable is the big one.
I've been sent a little thing called this Trick or Treat.
Oh.
and I've absolutely no idea what's in it.
I've seen that box a lot, but me neither.
Right. And I've got a strange feeling when I open it up, it's going to have green sauces in.
Well, that'd be a trick or treat, wouldn't it?
Angus has been trying to catch me for about a year and a half. And I've just got a strange feeling he's got with Dan Reed from Chilli of the Valley, and he's managed to really totally stitch me. Just a strange feeling.
Yeah, but how do we know, Charlie, that they haven't modified the content specially for Luciano?
Oh, Charlie, yeah. But I've just got a strange feeling it's a big setup when I've got 2 bottles of green sauce. So either way around, it makes no difference. It's a trick. Exactly, Charlie.
Are we going to have a look then?
No, I can't look into it until Halloween. That's the worst thing about it. I've got to wait till Halloween. But I am expecting it to open up, and there's these 2 bright green bottles right in front of me. It's just going to be.
Oh, what can we give you that'll make it disturbingly green, but give a completely different flavor to what you're expecting?
Don't know. No.
Because we could definitely use a tomato sauce. Sorry, an apple sauce base, and then add something greener from there.
Don't want to know. I'm just dreading opening that. I've got a strange feeling I've got 2 bottles of green sauce.
How do you feel about spinach?
Not too fussy on it, to tell you the truth.
Fair enough.
I'm not too fussy on many things green. It's probably why I don't like green sauces.
There's got to be something we can do.
Well, there isn't now. It's here, isn't it? I've just got to wait till Halloween, open it up and see which one I pick. But I've got a strange feeling it's not going to make no difference which one I pick. They're both green.
Oh, actually, I know what might be interesting as a green sauce for you. Do they still exist? Let me double check. The company still exists? Does the one... Yep. So it is a jalapeno-based sauce. So this one from Magma Sauces, which is magmasauces.co.uk, that I had some time ago, the jalapeno sour mango, its primary ingredient is underripe mangoes that are still green.
I tell you what I did want to try. I used to have a friend that ran the shop round the corner, and she once asked me for green tomatoes.
Ah, yeah.
Because she made a green tomato curry. And I never ever actually did get to try it because she sold the shop now and she's moved. But it was like, I always thought green tomatoes were inedible. Unless you made a chutney and, you know what I mean?
You've got to cook them specifically.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And it's like,
because the tomato plant isn't good for you. And green tomatoes, they still contain some of those compounds.
yeah.
But if you cook them up right, it breaks them down. They're completely harmless. I just don't know the process myself.
No, I mean, either I thought that only happened when you used them to make chutneys and...
I mean, if you're making chutneys with them, it's a long, slow cook, right? That's definitely going to help the process, but I mean, cooking a curry is not that far off.
Would have been interesting because usually at the end of the season, I used to be left with a big pile of leftover green tomatoes and never ever knew what to do with them because I don't eat chutney. And the idea of what I could have made a curry would have been...
Yeah. I will have to look into that because I've been growing my own tomatoes this year as well, and I suspect a lot of them won't ripen in time for the end of the season.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when they look great as well. They're just getting there and all of a sudden the cold weather kicks in. It's like...
We'll get there.
Have you got them in a greenhouse?
Yeah. Well, in a polytunnel.
In a polytunnel.
Which is basically a greenhouse.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just whether or not you can throw some heat. Nah, it's a bit late now for throwing heat in as well.
Yeah.
Could you bring your plants indoors?
There's not nearly space for all of them.
I was gonna say, because sometimes, you know, if you trim all the leaves off, so you're only left with the bits with the
Yeah.
tomatoes on, and you bring them somewhere warm, they start to ripen as soon as you stop watering. Oh, it's happened for me anyway. Anyway, we are a chili group, not a tomato group.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of the same growing principles.
You
They're
need
very similar
tomatoes
plants.
for a lot of chili sauces
Yeah.
and aubergines and the rest of it.
It's
So
not
yeah,
like I'm not growing them together as well.
chilies and tomatoes are the perfect combo. Chilies, tomatoes, onions, and garlic. As long as I have those four things, I'm a happy person.
It's got a lot of padrons and habaneros in there with them.
Not a big love of the padron.
No? Well, I guess they're green. But to me, they fry up beautifully.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's all I got to show you for tonight.
Well, we know what my winner is. I've already came up with. Which one really won for you?
I definitely think it's this one still.
Yeah, same one.
I never thought it would be the Reaper sauce, but
No, I didn't. I never ever thought a Reaper sauce would ever win anything. Other than amongst other Reaper sauces, or
I've had one or two that were really interesting. I had one that was a green Reaper sweet chili, which obviously wouldn't be your thing, but it was very unique and really quite tasty. But
speaking of sauces, somebody did a review of a sauce that contains the new Pepper X.
which sauce?
I can't remember, but what we need to do is track it down and see if we can get hold of a bottle, because it got a bad review. Could have been an unfair.
And to be fair, there have been a lot of Hot One sauces that have had it in. Have had some degree of it.
Well, like I said, could have been an unfair review. Might not have been, but the best way to find out is to grab a bottle of sauce and find out for yourself. That's always the best way. So
The latest one they've got is their Last Dab Experience, which they claim is 91% Pepper X. But if you check the ingredients, contains Pepper X distillate, which is just a fancy name for we've made extract using CO2 rather than the usual chemicals.
basically, it's to state that we didn't send you any actual Pepper X's because we didn't trust you with Pepper X. So we sent you this compound that we tell you that's Pepper X. We've
Kinda,
got
yeah.
no way of really knowing if it really is. It could have been something else.
Yeah. They don't trust us with Pepper X. Why would they trust us with Pepper X?
Who knows? Anyway, we've probably gone on long enough tonight, so I think I should just disappear and vanish and leave you to do the outro.
Well, I mean, I've said goodbye pretty much, but we'll catch you again next week. And who knows, I might even have some of that Last Dab Experience then, because I have an idea as to where I might get some.